Om Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Sarasvati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir me sada Yenakshara samamnayam adhigamya maheshwarat kritsnam vyakaranam proktam tasmai paninaye namaha vakyakaram vararuchim bhashyakaram patanjalim Paninim Sutrakarancha Pranatosmi Munitrayam Vagartha Viva Samprikto Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagadaf Pitaro Vande Parvati Parameshwaro Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Namaste. Welcome everyone. So we're here looking at our Panchavritti. One of the Panchavritti being Kridantam. Okay. So we saw Sananta Dhatu Vritti, Sanadyanta Dhatu Vritti, which is the only one of them that makes a Dhatu. The second type that we are seeing now is Kṛdanta, where we're starting with the Dhatu, we add a Krit Pratyaya, and then the word is a new Pratipadika. Okay, the new Pratipadika can then be, it can be conjugated like any other noun. So this Kṛdanta has two sense, right? It has this basic sense where you're going to get any sort of karaka sense to it. Like we were seeing these karmani or bhave krityaha, right? So that basic sense is that karmani sense, right? Or bhave, right? But mostly we're talking about karmani. That's the karaka, that basic sense that you get. An additional sense, right? We were seeing with these three, it gets that additional meaning of necessary to do or fit to do, etc. Yeah. So we saw these three types of this, this one Kṛdanta, it's called Kṛtyaha. The first part of them are Yat, Kyap, Nyat. Then we saw Tavyat, Tavya. The content is Tavya. And Aniyar, the content is Aniya. So just to conclude this section, we were looking at some sentences where we are finding the Kṛtya ending words. So the words which were ending with that Kṛtya, one of that type of Kṛdanta, Ya, Tavya, or Aniya. And we were translating the sentences, right? So we saw one sentence, we saw this first sentence, number one here. Let me erase this. Idam karma kartavyam maya, right? This action, this karma, kartavyam, should be done. Should be done, maya, by me. This action should be done by me. Okay. Let's look at one more sentence, this number 5. I have a few more. We can look at I do want to go to the next topic, so I don't want to spend too much time, but let's look at this one sentence here. And if time, we can look at number 6. I think that's an interesting sentence also. So let's read it together. Acharyah Shishyebhyah Nyayam Brahma Upadishyati. Okay, so the first thing is we still want to find our verb, okay? We don't want to get out of that habit. We still want to find a verb. Or is anyone catching a verb here? Yeah? Okay. Upadishyati, right? You're seeing that at the end. Upadishyati kind of has that pattern of looking like a verb. Upadishyati, okay? So we're still going to look like that. We also want to, after we do that, we want to identify our Kṛdanta. Okay? We want to identify our Kṛdanta as well. So is there a word here that gives you that Kṛdanta? Yeah. So the word is, yep, correct. That's Neyam. Neyam. Okay, this is Kṛtya. This is one of the Kṛtya. It's one of the ya ending Kṛtyas. Okay. So first, let's look at this verb, right? So you want to start with a tingantam padam. We find the dhatu. Dhatu of this is, right, we would say it's dish dhatu. And then upa is the upasarga. Upa, upasarga, dish dhatu, 1p. So upa dish means to teach. Lat lakaraha kartari prayoga pratama purushaha ekavachanam. So this is lat lakara present tense, kartari prayoga active voice, pratama purusha this third person singular. Right, so I can just put third one here for now. So we're going to look now for our first case. Acharyah Shishyebhyah Niyam Brahma. Well, there's a few things that could be our first case, right? We don't know. But we do see, right? So some of the suspects could be Acharyah, Niyam, or Brahma. But we see Acharyah, if the word is teaches, I mean, that makes sense to take Acharya teaches. Right, so let's just, we're going to take that Subantam Padam. We'll start with this one. The Subantam Padam, we want to find a Pratipadika, Acharya, Akaranta, Punlinga, Prathama Vibhakti, first case, singular, right? Meaning teacher. So the teacher teaches. Okay. Let's come back to this. I do yeah, sorry. Let's stay with this. Okay, so now we'll go right to left. Okay. You could go between the verb and the Kṛdanta, but here we can go right to left. So teacher teaches. Now let's look at this word Brahma. Okay. Brahma, if we look at even the chart, this is Brahman Shabda Anta Napumsakalinga Shabdaha. Okay, so Brahma, you can chant along with me. Brahmani, Brahmani, Brahma, Brahmani, Brahmani, Brahmana, Brahmabhyam, Brahmabhihi, Brahmane, Brahmabhyam, Brahmabhyaha, Brahmanaha, Brahmabhyam, Brahmabhyaha, Brahmanaha, Brahmanoho, Brahmanam. Brahmani, Brahmanoho, Brahmasu. Hey Brahman, hey Brahmani, hey Brahmani. Okay. So we're seeing Brahma. There's two places where you see Brahma, 1, 1, 2, 1. So it could be first case or second case. Okay. So we have to see it can be 1, 1 or 2, 1. We don't really have any if we look for 1, 1, then we can make the case for Brahma teaches, right? And that could be true, right? But then it just doesn't quite work, right? Brahma teaches, but then the Acharya is also teaching. So there's you get a little bit of difficulty there. So let's take 2, 1, right? So now the teacher teaches about Brahman, okay? So it's interesting that what you are teaching will come in the second case. Okay, so it's not who you are teaching to, but what you are teaching will come in the second case. It's the object of teaching, but it's a little bit different. I'll show you in a second. Okay, so teaches Brahman, the ultimate reality. So the teacher teaches about Brahman, or teacher teaches the subject called Brahman, which is Gneyam. Gneyam. Okay, so this word we identified already. We identified as our Kṛdanta word, right? Or Kṛtya. It's one of the Kṛtya words. It's a ya ending. So the original dhatu for this was nya. Yeah, nya dhatu, to know. Then we're going to add one of the yakaras. Off the top of my head, I don't know which yakara, but we can look it up quickly. Yeah, so here I already found it. These are yat ending words. So we have nya, 9p to know, plus yat. Nyeya, that which should be known, right? So this is yat. The specific Kṛtya is yat. Nyeya, that which should be known. So the teacher teaches Brahman, which should be known, right? Which should be known. Okay, so teaches Brahman, which should, so the Brahman is described as that which should be known. So these two words are actually what we're calling, right? Samanadhikaranam, right? So Neya, this is Akaranta, we're going to take a Napumsaka Linga because it's qualifying this Napumsaka Linga word here. So we'll say Akaranta Napumsaka Linga, Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachanam, because this is just like phala or jnana, right? It's Akaranta Napumsaka Linga. So it's 2, 1 because it's qualifying Brahman. And so we'll say this is Samanadhikaranam to Brahma. Okay? You can say Samanadhikaranam to Brahman or Karmani Dvitiya to Upadishati. Both work because they both hold. Right? Teaches Nyayam. Okay, so this is 2, 1. So teaches Brahman, which should be known. And then we have this word Shishyebhyaha. Okay, so Shishya, the word is just like Rama. Okay, Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramo, Raman, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi. Fourth case, Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhyaha. Okay, so now we're getting into the Ebhyahas. So, Ramat, Ramabhyam, Ramebhya. So you have 4-3, you have 5-3. Ramasya, Ramayoho, Ramanam. Okay, now we're out of it, right? So you have 4-3 or 5-3. If you can't chant any of them, just you should be able to chant Rama Shabda, okay? The whole chart. So that's just something you have to memorize. It's a good thing to know, right? So 4-3 or 5-3. Now, it teaches Brahman, which should be known to the Shishyas. 4-3. Yep, to the Shishyas. We're going to take 4-3 because we don't, that 5-3 meaning is, we don't get that, we don't have no justification for the fifth case, but I wanted to show you this quickly. When you get the fourth case, right, we get the fourth case to show, right, sampradhanam, the recipient of something, right? So even this example, Devadatta Dvijaya Dhanam Dadati, the Devadatta gives money to the Dvija. So what he gives is second case, to whom he gives is in fourth case. Similarly, Acharyaha Upadishati, it's like the same sentence almost, right? The teacher teaches Shastra, so Shastra is in the second case, but who they're teaching, the recipient, is in fourth case. So just wanted to point that out. What you're giving is in second case, the recipient will be in fourth case. Okay, so that relationship we get there too. So, Acharya Upadishati Neyam Brahman teaches Brahman which should be known to the students. Okay, one second. I just want to see one more thing. Okay, there's this word, Shishya. Okay, this word Shishya is also a Kṛdanta word. Let's look at this right here. I wanted to show you that. So we have Shas Dhatu, to teach. Shas Dhatu, to teach, plus Kyap. It becomes Shishya, one who is fit to be taught. One who is fit to be taught. So Shas Dhatu plus Kyap actually becomes Shishya, one who is fit to be taught. But we just, in regular Sanskrit, I was going to say regular English, no, but regular Sanskrit, we just say, will say student, right? One who is fit to be taught is a student. But this is where knowing if we're able to break apart this word, we can see what exactly Shishya means. Right? One who deserves to be taught, one who is fit to be taught. Okay, so not everyone can be a student. One who is fit to be taught. So interestingly, that also is a Kṛdanta word. We missed that at the beginning, right? But this is also a Kṛdanta word. Okay, so the teacher teaches Brahman, which should be known to the students. Okay, any questions with this sentence here? Is Neyam also fitness? So Neyam, if we look at Neyam, it can be fitness. So we're only putting one meaning here, that which should be known, but it can be that which is fit to be known. Okay, it can be that which is necessary to be known, right? So it can be any of those meanings. That I think there was 3 or 4 meanings that we saw, right? It can be any of those. So if we're looking at, yeah. So that's how we see that. Okay. Now we don't have time. Okay. No, this is kind of fun. Let's do one more sentence. We don't have time. We'll do another sentence. Okay. I feel like this is more fun than keeping going. Oh, you have another question, Urmilaji? Yeah. The Vigraha.
Vigraha. How do we make the Vigraha Vakya?
Yeah, let's look at that because we didn't actually look at that. So let me pull that back, okay? Sorry, I'm giving you a little bit of whiplash here. Let me show you, define where it is. Okay. Okay, so the Vigraha Vakyam of the Krit Vritti. Okay. So to show the meaning as expression for one Kritya Pratyaya, another Kritya Pratyaya is generally used. So this is why I couldn't show this in the beginning, because you didn't even know what a Kritya Pratyaya was. Right? So to give an explanation for one Kritya Pratyaya, another Kritya Pratyaya is often used. So if I want to give the meaning of Kartavyam, if I want to give the meaning for Karaniyam, I'll give Kartavyam iti Karaniyam. Okay, so that which should be done is that which should be done. Kartavyam iti Karaniyam. So you just put the word iti in the middle, and that is the explanation. Darshaniya iti drishyaha. Or darshavyam iti drishyaha. So you can change any of those Kritya Pratyayas and it can give a meaning to the other. Right? So this is an easy way. It's like giving you can go to the thesaurus and give a very similar word for that same word. Okay. If you want to show the meaning of fitness, right? You use the word yogya. Okay, with the tumun ending word. Now we haven't learned what tumun ending word is. Okay, but tum, we can add to the end of a dhatu, and it gives the meaning, it gives the infinitive meaning, meaning to do something. Okay, so dhatum means to give. Okay, so it just gives, tum gives the meaning to. So to give. Okay, so to give. So I give the tum. So datum means to give. And then I add the word yogya. So datum yogya. Yogya means that which is fit to be done. So yogya, that which is fit to give, is deyam, that which is fit to be given. Okay. Drashtum yogyaha. So that which is fit to be seen, the drish dhatu is to see. So I had tum, means to see. So that which is fit to see is darshaniya, that which is fit to see. Okay, so we saw the word shishyaha, right? We'll say shasana yogyaha iti shishyaha. That which is fit to be taught is a shishya. So you have to know which meaning. If you, this is only yogya only works when we're giving that specific meaning of fitness. So when I have this drashtum or datum, I believe I'll have to look this up. If I believe it becomes napumsakalinga. This I think stays first case, but I'll look it up. If tumun changes it, so I'll have to find out if tumun changes the gender or not. So we'll have to be a little more clear with that. But and then I want to show this last one to show the meaning of capacity, right? So, right, we said that which is capable to be done is one of the meanings as well. We'll give the word shakya. Shakya means that which is capable or capacity, again with tumun ending. Okay, so let's start with this one. Vach dhatu. Vach dhatu means to say. Vaktum, so the little sandhi change. Vaktum shakyam, that which is capable to be spoken or to be said, is vachaniyam. Tyaktum shakyah iti tyaktavyaha. Okay, tyaj dhatu means to give up. Now there's a little sandhi, cha becomes kakara, so becomes tyaktum shakyah. Shakyah means capable. Tyaktum, to give up. So that which is capable to be give up is called tyaktavyaha. Okay. Any questions with this? Okay. If it's gone over your head a little bit, if it's gone over your head, I would just remember this one at least, right? If you're using one, you can just use another to give the vigraha. Okay. We haven't quite seen tumun ending, but I wanted to introduce that as well. So that was a good opportunity to do that. Okay, we won't get time to do another example. Let's go to the next section that I wanted to see. Okay, so we finished that section of Kṛtya. That's one type of Kṛdanta, which gives the karmani meaning. Okay, which gives the karmani meaning. So we saw this Kṛtya and karmani. Now what I want to do is start the next topic, which is also within Kṛdanta, but a Krit pratyayas in Kartari. Okay, so which give that denote the karta, the agent. Okay, these denoted the karma, the object. These ones will denote the karta, agent. Okay, these are pages 46 to 53 in the book. 46 to 53. We're going to start on 46. So, Krit pratyayas in Kartari. Okay, so Kartari, by the way, is karta in seventh case. Okay, so Kartari means in the sense of karta. Okay, so they're going to point to this karta. To make a new pratipadika, which denotes this karta, the doer of a given action, the following krit pratyayas are suffix to a dhatu indicating that action. First one is trich. So you can repeat after me, trich. Okay, now this is na vul. Okay, so vul. So you can't really say it properly. Nvul. Nvul. It has to roll. But instead, we just give another akara, so we say navul. But that's not actually how you say it. So in case I say that, just forgive me because it's a little easier to say, but it's actually nvul. Nvul. Okay, it has to just, but it's there's no akara after the na. Okay, this is half kakara, v, and then pakara. So quip. Quip. In English, we have a word called quip as well, but this is quip. Okay, vakara. There's all these as well. We're going to see this as a separate section. Okay, but there's these 6 ways. We're going to just start with these first 3. Okay, trich, nvul, and quip. Okay, so for example, If I want to make the word whose meaning is a doer, right? So all of these give the meaning of ER in English, right? If I say ER, then that's going to give the meaning of the agent of that action. Okay, so do plus ER becomes the doer of doing. Write, ER becomes the doer of writing, or the writer. Right? Drive plus ER, the doer of driving. Here, these add the ER to the Sanskrit word, to the Sanskrit dhatu. Right? Drive is a dhatu. We add the Krit Pratyaya ER, and we make a Kṛdanta called driver. You've never thought of driver as a Kṛdanta. Now driver is a Kṛdanta also. Right? Writer is a Kṛdanta. Cooker, right? Pressure cooker. Cooker is a Kṛdanta. Okay. So if I want to make the word the doer, the Krit Pratyayas are suffixed to dhatu kr. So I have kr plus trich, it becomes kartr. Kartr. That's how you make the word kartr. One would be karta. Okay. Kr plus nvul becomes karaka. Have we seen that word? Karaka. How vul becomes aka, we'll see that later. Okay. And kr plus quip becomes krit. Like Krit Pratyaya. Okay. Interestingly, to make the word krit, we need a Krit Pratyaya. Okay. These all mean doer, one who does, agent of doing. Okay. The first one is tṛc. Okay. So just now we're going to go. So you see how we're systematically going to do this. Within this, there's these three types: tṛc, vul, and quip. The first one is tṛc. Right? The content of tṛc is just tr. Okay? So meaning that chakara is the it letter. Okay, here's now I'm going to give a little more information. Halantyam is one of the sutras by which we know which is the it letter. So one of them says that if it ends with a consonant, that is going to be it. Okay, hal anta. Okay, so chakara goes away. We are just left with tr. Okay, we're not going to be able to understand all of this, but tṛc can take something. We can get another e kara. It agama means we can get an extra e inside of it. Okay, that's a little bit too much for us. But we know that guna can take place. Okay, so far we know tr and guna can be possible. We might get some floating ikara that comes in as well. Okay. This new pratipadika can design in any of the three lingas, any three genders. So we call it trilingi. And the gender is determined by the linga of the noun. Right? Just like what we saw in Kṛtya. So it's determined by the linga of the noun which the tṛc ending word qualifies, or it's connected to. How does this decline? In Punlinga Napumsaka Linga, it declines as Trijanta. Da, right? Trijanta. In volume 1, we saw this as R ending masculine. Okay. So we're ending. Okay, before we end, in Strilinga, we add the suffix e and it declines as e ending feminine, which we saw like nadi in volume 1. Okay. So this is why I put this in the warm-up, because we saw this word kartru in volume 1. It declines like the word kartru because kartru is a tṛc ending word. Okay, we just didn't know that at the time. We didn't know what tṛc meant, so we didn't even talk about tṛc. But this word is a tṛc ending word, so they're all going to decline like this. What I would suggest before next time is I would look at this chart and become a little more familiar with this chart so we can do some examples, okay? And we'll pause here. This is our starting point for tṛc, where it's declining like kartr. Okay? And by the way, kartr, it has a lot of similarities with hari. So if you know hari, you get a lot of kartr shabda as well. Because this whole section is the same, this whole middle section. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.